Isn't it great to be able to wake up? Those of you who are there, those of you that got there to wake up, and you look in your bank account and there's a payment, whether it's from a dividend or some other source of income that's happening passively. Maybe it's $100 a month, maybe it's $1,000 a month, whatever that may be. You didn't do anything for that other than took the effort in advance to get that money working for you. And so that's kind of what we're going to be looking at. So in order to get there, one, we need to budget. In order to manage your money, you have to have a budget. Those that have never had a budget and simply follow I pay my bills on time, hopefully, a large number of people, I forgot what the statistic I just read was, are 90 days or more late on a bill or multiple bills. So we're not even getting the pay the bills on time portion. But we have to budget our money. It's basically telling your money what it's going to do. I have $1,000 and this is what I want it to do. I'm not going to just let it do whatever. I have a job for it. Some of it's going to pay for the food I need to eat. Some of it's going to pay for the transportation I need. I have to figure out what that is. And we're going to go into how to create a decent budget. There's lots of different tools. Whether you're old school like me, I still like the ledger, handwriting it. They got the apps on your phone. Just depends what you like and what you're good with, what you're going to use. Doesn't matter how sophisticated or unsophisticated something is. If you don't use it, it won't work. So let's look at some different scenarios, some different things. But in order to get a budget, we have to spend some time and look and see what are we actually spending our money on. That's why I like doing the charts and stuff, my geeking out, nerding out in the charts. I like seeing, I spent 32% of my money on this, or I spent X number of dollars on these things. Whether you're doing if I cut out a cup of coffee a day at Starbucks, I can save X number of dollars over 30 years. I like doing those things to see how much am I spending, because it's not just what am I spending today, it's how much could that money have earned over the next 10, 20, 30 years if I hadn't spent it on this. So I've not only lost the $5 that I spent today, I've lost the $5 I spent today and the interest that it has earned and could have earned for 30 years or whatever time frame we look at. And you'd be surprised at how much some of that adds up. And we'll look at some of those things. Sometimes that's motivation for people to quit a habit that they've been struggling with, whether it's cigarettes or going out to eat or whatever it may be. And I'm not here to dog you on whatever those are and what you're spending your money on, just to show you that sometimes that can be an incentive. Like, hey, maybe I don't need that new pair of shoes every other week and add to my collection or whatever it might be. We can go through. You have to decide. If something brings you joy and you can fit it in your budget, go for it. I'm not here to tell you what to spend your money on. I'm here to show you and explain the impact it has and whether you want to follow through with that impact or not. So having a budget is huge importance. It is actually the most liberating thing I ever did. My wife and I had somebody kind of help sit us down one time and showed us that. Like I said, we had always paid our bills on time. I'd never been late for bills, but I was overextending as a young father and husband. We were spending more than we should have. We were accumulating a little bit of consumer debt on credit cards, car notes and things of that nature. Some of it, you'd say, well, you need these things. But some of it we could have definitely avoided. And I made sure I paid my bills every month, but there was times it was super stressful because I was like, oh crap, this bill's coming due. I don't have that much in. I had to do some finagling and make sure it happened, and it took a lot of stress. And so having a budget was liberating because it removed stress. It helped me avoid mistakes like, I forgot, my tax bill comes in twice a year. I forgot because I didn't budget. I don't pay it every month. That's every 6 months. It surprised me. There's a big whammy too. That's not just like I forgot about the subscription that cost me $10. These sometimes can be big surprises if we're not planning. It helps us plan not only for day-to-day, month-to-month budgeting, helps us plan for if we want to take a vacation or we need a new car or we need something or we want to go do something fun. And it eliminates the guilt. My wife was real good about conserving money. We were one income young family. I was in a nonprofit career, so there wasn't a large income. We were in a very restrictive budget. We weren't flowing in the dough. she found a lot of ways to save money. One of the things she did was she didn't spend a lot. She guilted herself over things like she'd find something she liked to be like $1. She'd be like, I don't know, and then maybe it'll go on sale or something. And very restrictive. I'm appreciative of this because we were in a very tight financial place. But when we got on a budget, we were able to put money aside, whether it was for her to go do some shopping for herself or the boys, whatever it may be. She knew we have X number of dollars in this for that. So you don't have to feel guilty. Yes, we have the money because it says right there it's for Christmas gifts, it's for birthday gifts, it's for clothing, it's for school supplies, whatever it may be. We had the money and we set those things aside. Now, if we didn't have the money, we had to say, nope, we can't. Maybe we're going to not go out to eat this month or this week or whatever the case may be, or we want to do this instead. We can rearrange some of our budget, but we had to make sure we were taking it from something it could be taken from and not just, oh, well, we're going to spend this. So there's a lot of liberation in that, and we'll get into that further when we get into that topic on probably the next video will be the budgeting, because you got to start with the budget to get anywhere else. Number 2 is debt. If you don't have a budget, you will certainly end up in debt. If you're not already there. If you're there, this isn't a guilt trip. Hey, I'm not here to make you feel guilty about the debt. I'm here to help you find a plan to get out of that debt. A friend of mine told me a couple months back, he said, I'm so tired of working just to pay off my debt. And we were talking about ways to help him get out of debt and to invest in his future. And that is one of the things I'd like to do is help you. If you're in debt, hey, you're in the right place. This is what these types of channels. I'm not the only guy. Trust me. I've watched other videos. I just hope to bring a different perspective, an encouraging perspective that helps somebody. So a budget will help you keep out of debt and get you out of debt. Albert Einstein, who we don't really think of when it comes to money and finances, we always think of his scientific genius and all this, but he made a very interesting comment one time. A quote says, "Compound interest is the 8th wonder of the world. He who understands it earns it. He who doesn't pays it." That's exactly why when you go to the big cities, the names on all the buildings that you'll see, banks. You see banks, banks, banks. Why? Because they're the ones lending you money on compound interest, and they are the ones that understand it and are earning the compound interest. That's how they can afford those gigantic buildings with all their names on it. That's what we want to do, is we want to get a better understanding of compound interest, how it works against us, but also how it works for us. I hate compound interest when I'm paying it, but I absolutely love compound interest when it's paying me. And that's the most amazing thing, is when you watch your money earn money, and that money that you earn money, and it continues to snowball and grow, and that's a wonderful thing. That's why it feels like when you make the minimum payment on your credit card that you're never making progress, because that's exactly what they want. They want you to continue to pay them over and over and over again, so that $1,000 item at the end of the time that you've paid it cost you $1,500, $1,800. Yeah, I got it on sale. I went down to Best Buy and they had this new jumbo TV I wanted. It was on sale, 25% off. And you put it on your Best Buy credit card at 22% interest. And in 5 years you paid it off. You didn't save 25%. Instead of paying $1,000 at full market price, you got it for $750. But when you paid your credit card off, you actually paid $1,300 for it. See? You lost. They got the compound interest. They were like, yeah, we'll put it on sale. Here, we got an easy financing for you. It's easy because it keeps them rolling in the money. So we'll look at debt, how it works for you and against you. And we'll get into that in another video.